Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Potatoes are one of my personal 5 a day, and by 5 a day I mean 5 different ways to eat potatoes every day: mashed, roasted, chipped, crisped and fried once a day. Of course, who doesn't eat 5 different kinds of potatoes a day? That's what doctors mean when they say eat your 5 a day, right? But anyway, potatoes are now renowned for their huge variety. This variety not only involves the way they can be prepared, but also the different kinds of potatoes out there. These different kinds of potatoes are referred to as cultivars, which each have specific uses. Some are made with roasting in mind, some are made with mashing, and others were cultivated specifically to be made into crisps. All these different cultivars have names too, and many of those names are rather odd at times. So let's look at some of the oddest names for potatoes out there. Let's start things off with the Marris Piper. This is a kind of potato from the UK and quite possibly our most well-known of potato, I suppose. It's the go-to for chips and roasting, and that's the 2 key ways we eat potatoes here in the UK, as chips and as roasting, mashing as well, I suppose. And also, for the record, when I say chips, I mean the kind you eat with fish or with a burger from McDonald's. What I mean what Americans call chips, I'm going to say crisps. What this means is that to me and many others in the UK, Marris Piper is just one of those names ingrained into our mind and linked with potatoes. But when you look at the name of vacuum, it is actually really weird. Like Marris Piper sounds like the name of a book character. I just imagine like an old lady who goes around solving crimes and murders or something. Marris Piper reporting for duty. I don't know, someone go write a book. Someone go write a book about someone called Marris Piper who solves like potato themed crimes, like who stole all the potatoes, that sort of thing. Man, there's money in that somewhere. Maybe I should do it. I don't know, I'm tired. But these potatoes are not named after someone by this name. There is seemingly no real person called Marris Piper. What is real, however, is the street of Marris Lane. This street is located in Cambridge and is home to the plant breeding institute the potatoes were born in. In fact, everything born here has Marris in its name somewhere. They didn't want to just call it the Marris potato, however. Instead, they wanted another P word for some reason instead of potato. And Piper was chosen randomly. One source told me it was the creator's son who said, "You should use Piper instead of potato." So, I don't know, whoever that person was, if that's true, thanks, you created the name Marris Piper partially. Well done you. Another popular kind of potato is the russet, which isn't actually one kind of potato. Instead, multiple cultivars have this in their name, including the King Russet, the Highland Russet, and the Russet Burbank. This cultivar is seemingly of American origins, and in some cases are simply known as Idaho potatoes, as they are deeply linked to the state. It turns out this potato is not the first thing to be dubbed russet, however. Initially, russet actually existed as the name for a shade of reddish brown, with the word russet coming from the same root as words like red, ruddy and rusty, hence why they sound alike. The name of this colour got applied to this potato because, well, you guessed it, these potatoes are this colour. What I found interesting is that russet is used in the wider realm of fruit and veg too. When a fruit starts going brown over time, this is known as russeting. Before we continue, I want to say a huge thank to my most recent patrons. So a huge thank to patron Janice Ness. Patron is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what names are explained, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below. Conversely, if you want to just make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comments section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. One of the oddest named potatoes has to be the pink fir apple. While strange at first glance, most of this name does actually make sense, except the fir part. I have no idea where that comes from. The pink part relates to the colour of this potato's skin. Sure, it's not hot pink like Barbie's convertible, but it has a hue of pink to it. It's more pink than other potatoes, that's for sure. The apple part might seem the oddest, as that's a completely different name for a different kind of produce. When you find out the pink fir apple has its origins in France, however, it starts to make more sense. The French word for potato is pomme de terre, which translates into meaning apple of the earth, because you know it's kind of like a fruit that lives in the earth. And this also stems from the old use of the word apple, where in many languages it was used as a generic name for all fruit and veg. Like our pineapple isn't really an apple, it's a sort of piney fruit. Apple meant fruit, so pineapple kind of meant piney fruit. But yeah, that's where it came from, apple, weird old word. But from here it starts to make sense why this kind of potato's name would translate to apple in English, despite the fact it seems nonsensical today. Another kind of potato named after the wrong produce is the almond potato. This one does not taste like an almond, and its name doesn't come from some weird translation quirk either. It is simply named the almond potato because of its shape and colour, making it look somewhat like an almond. This is seemingly a potato of Nordic origins, as it is popular in places like Sweden, Norway and Finland. In fact, it has another name based on this location, also being known as the Swedish peanut fingerling, which is just a little bit odd as well. There's a lot to unpack with this one. The Swedish part comes down to the fact that these potatoes have their origins in this corner of the earth. The peanut comes once again from its nutty shape, and the fingerling part comes from a wider name for a type of potato known as fingerlings, named as they are somewhat finger-like in shape. They're fingerling. I don't know, something funny about that word fingerling. I might change my name to Fingerling. Patrick Fingerling, like, yeah, it's got a great ring to it. Change from a foot to a finger. That's an idea. And finally, we have the MEGACHIP, which is perhaps the most awesome name for a potato. I mean, just imagine a potato-themed evil villain having the MEGACHIP as their secret weapon, or something like, release the MEGACHIP, and just this huge chip just comes down and destroys the city. But that's just how my weird brain works when I hear the term MEGACHIP. I just want to say it as like, MEGACHIP. I don't know, MEGACHIP makes me laugh, probably more than other people, but that's just how I am. But anyway, this potato was created for one reason and one reason only, to be made into really good potato chips. And by that I mean crisps, of course. But from this name alone, you should gather that this is an American product. If it was created over here, it would be called like the Mega Crisp or something. But the name ultimately derives from the simple fact that it was used to make chips, making a potato used for making Mega Crisps, or chips, I ought to say. I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, the ones that come in a little bag that you eat like that. Yeah, cool. That's only 5 kinds of potatoes. Let me know about any other interesting potato names I might have missed out on. Also, please suggest a topic down below which we could cover in next Monday's Name Explain video. It could be about literally anything, and the topic can be as niche or broad as you like. I will then choose 3 of those topics and place them in a poll for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the topic covered in next Monday's Name Explain video. Except I didn't do that this week. This week was supposed to be a video about grammatical cases because of a freeway tie-in poll from a few months ago, but then I started making a video about grammatical cases, and I was like, no, I have no idea what this is. My brain isn't comprehending what this is, and I don't have much time to make these videos. So I was like, I'm gonna have to put that one on the back burner and trying to brew that one a bit longer. So I was like, I need a video to make. What am I going to make instead? And then I saw a while back a patron called Noreen23505 suggested this video for a Request Wednesday. And I was like, yeah, that'll do. And I just made it today. So a bit different that time, but this really isn't a democracy. Your votes mean nothing to me. Your polls mean nothing to me. This is actually an autocracy. I have the last say here, I'm afraid. But there will be a poll this week anyway, I promise. So you can vote in that poll, as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. Anyway, that's more than enough from myself, but don't forget to go follow me on Instagram, my Name Explain YT, and don't forget to join the Facebook page, Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. I am wet, because I went out for a walk with the dog, and it was raining, and now I'm all soggy. I don't feel good about that, but I just noticed that my glasses are really smudgy, so I'm going to sort that out. That's better. Should we begin? Right, let's go. Let's start thing off, and they are the go-to chip. Oh, I've got like an Elvis little thing going on. What I found interesting is the fact that russet is used in the wider realm. One of the oddest named apples. No, it's potato. I've said I'm even confused myself there. That was a rubbish clap. That was a rubbish clap as well. And finally, we have the MEGACHIP, which is the that's a weird tangent, but hopefully we'll be okay. Take care. Nice. I'm just gonna eat some sort of potato now. I'm gonna grab a raw potato and just get it down me. Man, potatoes are good.